It's Rambling Hour with Lisa, Season 10, Episode 6. I hope everybody is well and that you've had a good week and a good St. Patrick's Day on Friday. In the UK here, something else we've been celebrating this weekend is Mother's Day. Mothering Sunday is today. So for all of you who are celebrating, happy Mother's Day. And for those of you who don't have a mom or are not close to your mom, that's okay. We have many other days in the year to celebrate. We don't need to celebrate every single one. I hope everybody is well. For North America, Mother's Day isn't till May, but I can still say happy Mother's Day to my mom right now, and I can say it again in May because I'm gonna always say I love you and that we appreciate our moms any time of the year. So I hope, like I said, everyone is good and that you've had a good week. I got this beautiful new orchid as one of my Mother's Day gifts, which is good because I kind of killed all my orchids. Well, I have one left and I'm trying, so I need to start my collection again. So I might as well show you how beautiful it is before it gets to a point where I can't get it to bloom again. And then I have this primula. It's some of the flowers are like starting to die, but the colors are beautiful in it. So I got that for Mother's Day, but this is the best thing ever. Many of you might know that our daughter Aurora, 17, is taking bakery and patisserie at college, and she made these icing flowers for me, and the whole thing, besides the pot, the whole dark dirt and everything is edible. I want to come closer and smile at these. I want them to be in focus because these are so awesome. They're so cute and delicate and like perfectly made and edible. She has a talent. And her teacher even said how brilliant. Hers were the best in the class. So those are my flowers for Mother's Day. And then I have my drink here. So I got some chocolate and some all sorts like licorice candies for Mother's Day. And you might be wondering why I chose to do a Blue October theme. This is my hoodie from when I went and saw them in March last year. It was the This Is What I Live For tour. And I went with my stepson Owen. Well, guess what else I got for Mother's Day? Not one, but 2 tickets to Blue October. So they are not coming in March this year. Seeing March is like almost done. They're coming in April. So I am going on April 29th to see Blue October. And I can't remember what this tour is called, but it doesn't say it on here. So that's why I chose the Blue October, because it's Mother's Day. I got those tickets today and I just wanted to brag and tell you how happy I am to be going to Blue October again. I also thought I'd wear this toque even though I'm indoors. But this beanie hat was made by a friend in Canada, and it actually has the hole on the top for your pony to go through. So when I saw her that she made them, I asked her to make me one, and this is the color I wanted because yellow is sunshine, happy. So it also has a bit of yellow on here, so I thought it would work good together and give me a different look for her. But the thing is that if I pull it down so it's tight, then it's like really, really low. But if I fold it up like this, I don't know if it looks better down or like this, but so this reminds me more of the beachcomber look. But I can leave it up like this. Happy Mother's Day, Cheryl says. Hang on a second. Cheryl says, happy Mother's Day, love your hair. Thank you. Mom says, beautiful Lisa. And now Cheryl, it says that you wanted to come on my live. I'm just making sure that that you didn't accidentally press that. So I'm adding Cheryl if she wants to come on to my live, or if she accidentally pressed it, we'll see in a minute. So does it look okay like this with it folded up with the rim? Hello? Cheryl? 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 Hello? No, Cheryl, I know you just typed hello, but you're live, you're on as my guest.
So if you talk, we'll be able to hear you. We can hear your TV in the background. So it was an accident then that you pressed. Oh, funny. Yeah, sometimes I don't know if someone's bumped it or if they actually want to be my guest. So today is the 19th of March. It's also our daughter Amy's due date. So the baby isn't here yet, but it could be any time now. So we will keep you updated on that as well. We don't know if it's a boy or girl. So I don't know now that it's like this. It's kind of, I don't know what it looks like. You guys can tell me. So what else do I want to tell you guys? So did I tell you guys last week that the greenhouse is coming, that it's going to be installed on April 4th? So I've been able to start my countdown again. So it's like 16 sleeps now until the greenhouse is installed. That's exciting. There's lots going on. That's super exciting. I'm not sure if this blanket looks good there or not, so I'm just going to move it. Yes. So what else? Chili. The girls and Steve made chili for dinner because Steve asked me what I wanted for my supper tonight. And I didn't really know because I wasn't too bothered, but I knew that there was the stuff to make chili, and I've been wanting his chili for a while, so I said chili. So they made chili. I had it with nacho chips. That was really yummy. I am going to make some El Salvadorian food this week. I have the ingredients to make it. I just didn't make it yet, but I'm going to. And as far as Food Fridays went, I was helping Aurora with the cake that she made for Danielle's 5th birthday, and it turned out beautifully. So I don't know if you can hear Lena barking. She's outside the door and barking right now. So I don't know if I should leave her outside or let her in. But I also noticed that as I'm looking there, it shows that there's yellow in the orchid flowers that match my hat and my hoodie. So what else is new? What is up with you guys? Oh, I knocked the comments away. Let me let Lena in because she's going to bug me if I keep hearing her barking. Come on, let's go. Go lie down. So go lie down. Not here, Lena. What? Go. No, Lena, not here. I would love to be in the garden more, but it's been rainy this week and just still chilly, and it's still like so many things that like just put me off, because once the greenhouse is in, it's not just about being in the greenhouse to start seedlings and stuff like that. It's about the fact that to put that greenhouse in, I had to take apart 2 greenhouses, one that I used for storage. So everything that was in around and behind the greenhouses has been lifted and shoved into the raised beds or wherever it could fit. Until the new greenhouse goes in, then I can put stuff, organize it behind the greenhouse storage and in the greenhouse, and put everything back in place. Then I can, you know, start doing things. So it's been a bit uninspiring to be in the garden just because of that. And then also on our lawn, like I said before, the puppies, Sasha, Tom's first puppy, who sadly passed away, and Nova, nope, said that backwards. Nova is the one that passed away, and Sasha is the one that we have now. And then Lena doesn't help either, but most of the lawn is mud right now. So it's, again, uninspiring to be out there. So Cheryl says, oops, didn't mean to go live. And lots of laughing faces. That's okay, Cheryl, don't worry. It was just like a still shot of your name and then a bit of noise in the background, but nothing embarrassing. It was just like the TV or just some shuffling and stuff. So what else is up? We went out for lunch yesterday with me and Steve, Amy and her husband James, and Steve's mom and stepdad Trisha and Chris, and we had a nice lunch. The food was really good. The company was even better, and I'm trying to remember if I did anything exciting this last week. Oh, and I babysat for Samantha, so she could go out to a play. So I babysat all 3 of the kids. Cheryl said no farting. No, I don't know if you farted or not, but we didn't hear it, so that's okay. Yeah, so I got to babysit Spencer, Danielle, and Erica hung out with Tyla while Samantha went to a play with some family, and I couldn't have done it without Tyler, actually, because, well, when Spencer was crying, well, Danielle went to sleep quite easily, and then Spencer was napping, and then when Spencer woke up and started crying, he woke up Danielle. And so for me to be upstairs with Danielle, I had Erica and Tyler have Spencer downstairs because he was crying, and it would have kept Danielle up. And then if I went downstairs with Spencer to take care of him while he was crying, then I had Erica and Tyler upstairs just to let Danielle fall back asleep if they were there, just so she didn't feel lonely and that she knew that they were close by. So it really helped that the older girls were there for me to help babysit. So, so that was my exciting week. And then other than that, it was grocery shopping. I can't think of anything else I did, but I am trying to get stuff done in the house still, because I know that as soon as the greenhouse gets here, the nicer weather gets here, I am going to be outside. The house goes to, falls apart in the spring and summer and early autumn because I spend most of my time outside and I don't get the stuff done in the house. So I'm trying to get stuff done in here that I know that I will probably avoid for the gardening season. But yeah, other than that, and what I have coming up this week, I have to take my car in just for an oil change and stuff. And I don't think I have anything else planned this week. And nothing that I can remember anyways. So yeah, what is new with you? Tell me in the comments. I'm going to have some of my pop. It's pop. It's not wine. I know you can't, it's a gin glass. It's pop in a gin glass, but it looks like wine. So I did my Bitmoji, like my little cartoon, and it's holding a wine glass. So lots of people think that I drink wine all the time on these, but it's just pop. It's just a nice glass because it looks better than drinking out of a can or a bottle while I'm doing these. It makes you feel different when you drink it out of a different vessel. So I am excited to get outside in the garden, and I'm excited to maybe sneak to a garden center. I have some gift certificates that I still need to spend at a garden center, but I'm afraid that I'll spend too much money at the garden center. So that's why I haven't let myself go yet. I bought a few new house plants from the marketplace too, but they were cheaper. I was going to use them as a background today too, but I couldn't be asked. Couldn't bother to get everything set up. So I thought just the Mother's Day ones would be enough. And my exercise is it's only 4 out of 30 minutes so far today, so haven't done much, but it's Mother's Day. That's why I haven't done much. I saved everything for this week, like laundry and cleaning and everything. I kept looking around. Steve said, okay, what do you want to do with the rest of your day? And I would look around and I'd be like, those dishes need to be put away. That needs to be done. That needs to be done. And he said, you don't need to do that stuff today. But so I have tried to not do anything today, but it's very difficult. That reminded me that, what was it? What was I going to say? This week, take my car in. It was something that that I house plants, setting up, exercise. Oh, right, that's what it was. Last week I told you guys that I was going to be starting my yoga and shred again. So last Monday I did do my yoga, and then I just didn't do my yoga. So I've only done it once, but I am getting myself back in gear. Like I said, with the fact that we've blocked up the door in the kitchen, and the only way to get out into the in and out to the back garden right now is the patio doors, and half of our lawn is mud. The dogs just track the mud in. So if I wanted, I know this is an excuse, but if I want to do my yoga and stuff, the floor is just filthy here. So actually what I think I'm going to do after my live, because I got to get my my exercise minutes in anyways, is I'm going to take my yoga mat upstairs and do my yoga in my bedroom. And then I might still take the dog for a walk as well. But after the greenhouse, see, everything's after the greenhouse is in. But after the greenhouse is in, and I can, like our lawn right now has one of the old greenhouse frames on it, and it has the 2 long metal tables that will go into the new greenhouse. No, Lena, quiet. Lena, it's just Aurora. It's just Aurora. Shush. So, do you want to come and say hi? No, she doesn't want to say hi. Okay, so is that once I get so those big metal tables are on our lawn as well. So I need to move the frame of the other greenhouse and those 2 big metal tables, and then I can, I'm going to like cordon off the half of the lawn that is just mud, so that I can sprinkle lawn seed. What am I trying to say? Like grass seed. and grow the lawn there, and the dogs will still have half of the grass to go on to do their business and stuff like that. So again, that, I guess technically I could move those tables before the greenhouse gets put in, but it's like, where do I put these things when everything is already like pushed out and around, and you know, just to get that whole pad empty, it just looks like disaster in the garden right now. So, but that is yeah, so my point is that it's just an excuse because the floors are really gross for doing yoga, but it's not an excuse for doing my shred because I wear shoes to do that anyways. But I posted a video a couple days ago of me doing push-ups 2 years ago, and my form, my body, you could just see that my body had muscle on it, the fact that I could do push-ups. And you can say like, oh, push-ups, lots of people can do push-ups, but you do not know that was day 212 or something of me working out to get to that point where I could do those push-ups. So starting again here, and I don't mean that I'm starting from scratch, because I do like walk every day with Steve with the dogs and everything else, so I'm getting some exercise, but arm strength, not a chance. It's going to take a while to build up to that too, to be able to do push-ups again. So I have no excuse to not do my shred. And yeah, I need to step it up. So once I get going, I know I will not miss a day because I won't let myself, but it's about starting the shred. And which is, for those of you who don't know, the shred is just, it's like interval training. It's between strength and cardio. So you just go back and forth, strength and cardio. The way that it's done on Jillian Michaels' 30-day shred is 3 minutes of strength, 2 minutes of cardio, 1 minute of abs. And then you do that 3 times. So it's it doesn't sound, it's not much for time. It doesn't take as much time, but it actually does work really well. So it's only 20 minutes a day. So you really don't have an excuse to, well, with warm up and cool down, say 25 minutes a day, and it makes a huge difference. So you, like, none of us really have an excuse. And the thing is that even if you're not at a good fitness level, you got to start somewhere. So even if you can't, like, once I'm doing it, and this is what I'll have to do again too, because I have arthritis in my knees, because I'm out of shape and I haven't done it in so long, I'm not going to be able to do the jumping jacks and stuff like that. I'll just either walk on the spot or like march or something that's still moving, so I can do the arm part of the jumping jacks, but my leg part is I need to build up the muscle around my knees before I can do any high impact things on my knees, because otherwise the arthritis will they'll just get inflamed and I won't be able to walk. So we don't want that. So what I'm saying is that you work to your exercise level. If you can't even do the jumping jack arm thing, if your arms only like go to here or like whatever, just do what you can until you build that strength up a little bit more and a little bit more. And it's the same with the yoga. If you're like bending to touch your toes and you can only go to there, then only go to there. And then in a week, you might find that you can go to there. And in 2 weeks, you might be able to go to there. And after a year, you might be able to go to there. But it doesn't matter. You just start and go with what your level is. So I have no excuse. Any excuse is only an excuse. There's no reason that I can't be doing my workouts. I have the time. I have the space. I have the electronics to turn them on. I even have them on my phone if I only wanted to listen to the audio of them. So I don't have an excuse. I just have laziness that made me not do them. So anything else you guys want to talk about? What is new with you? It is 8:24 here. We haven't changed our clocks yet. We do it at the end of the month. So there was something I was going to check on here, but I don't know what it was, because it'll tell me on here how long we've been chatting. almost 19 minutes. So we still got a long way to go for me to keep rambling, especially if nobody else is going to comment, because then it's just me trying to make things up. I'm almost done reading my book. What's it called? The Opposite of Butterfly Hunting by Ivana Lynch. And she plays Luna Lovejoy, Luna in Harry Potter. It's a very good book. I'm almost finished it. It's just that I don't read as much as I should. So maybe that's what I'll do with the rest of my time after Steve, like Steve's out with his mates. So maybe I'll, after I'm done working out. So yeah, yoga, dog walk, read, I don't know, maybe go to bed early and start getting stuff done tomorrow. I have no idea. So Cheryl says, looking forward to seeing your greenhouse. Yes, I am too. I know, it's like, I'm trying not to get really overly like excited, but it is only 16 sleep. So it's going to be like in no time at all. It's going to change so much of the garden. I'm going to be able to do so much. And then as if the family doesn't like not see me enough, because I'm always outside when the weather's nice, this is in the greenhouse. So even if it's raining, I can be in the greenhouse. Even if it's chilly, I can be in the greenhouse with the heater on. And once the electricians come and I get electricity in there, I'll have lights. So I even when it gets dark out, I can still be in the greenhouse. And yes, so the way that when they built the pad, they left a big long tray thing, like with a big spillway on underneath at the back. So the water will like if I clean the greenhouse and spray it down with water, all the water I can like brush it into that, and it'll drain out the back. And then there's another one that we put in on the side, and that is for because the greenhouse is going to be flat on the cement pad, obviously, and it's going to be I don't know how they fasten it into the concrete, but they do it so that, you know, like the wind can't pick up the greenhouse and smash it. So it's actually fastened to the concrete, and you don't want a gap underneath there because you don't want like rodents and stuff getting into your greenhouse. Plus this greenhouse actually has locks on the door, so I can lock it so that the dogs and stuff can't get in it. Because my old greenhouse, the dog just used to open the door with her snout and go in. But because it's like going to be totally like flat against the concrete and there's nothing to get in, how would I get any electricity in it or the hose to water things? Like once I brought the hose in the door wouldn't be able to close. So if I have the heat on and everything else. So we put this other vent in, like this other whatever thing in that you can put, so they can feed the wires up to put electricity in and lighting. And then I can feed it's big enough that I can feed the hose up there and use the hose inside the greenhouse without having the door open. And then once we have that installed, I can stuff it with something so that it's not just letting cold air in all the time. So that is very exciting. I'm very excited about my greenhouse. I know there's lots of people who are, not just Cheryl, but lots of people who are excited to see the greenhouse. They're excited for me, and I can't wait. I'm a spoiled little girl, and I am. It is one of the most exciting things to ever happen to me. It's so big and beautiful, and I'm just so excited. You would think with all this excitement, it would give me the motivation and energy to go outside and tidy up other things that need to be done out there. But then it rains, it's gloomy, it's miserable, there's dog poo everywhere. And like I said, it's muddy lawn. But it'll all come together because I always get things done. I always get what I say I'm going to do. I get it done eventually. Just takes me a while. It's funny because when we go back to the working out thing, I know that there's people who are in less physical condition than I am that will look at me and say, I wish that I looked like her or was in the condition that she's in physically. But then I look at myself 2 years ago and I'm like, where did she go? I worked so hard for her and I just let her go. And yeah, I need to find her again. and like it takes the work, but it wasn't, like I said, it's 25 minutes a day for the shred, 20 minutes of yoga a day, and then whatever else. Like, it's not a big ask, and I got there. It's just what it is the commitment. It's the doing it every day instead of, or even 3 to 5 days a week, is something. But it's over a long term, which is what the problem is. It's easy for people to start a program. It's hard for people to continue with that and to keep up with it. And I was doing so good, and then it was my knees with the, but then that's just an excuse because I could have still did upper body. But when I had the house-made knee, I had to leave my leg up for whatever, how many days, I just felt defeated. And Cheryl said, excited for sure, or exciting for sure. Yes, it is very exciting. I can't, I'm like, literally, I've dreamt about the greenhouse, but sorry, I got burps because of my pop. I just have to be patient. It's still over 2 weeks away. Plus, like I said, the baby's going to be here anytime too. So that's very exciting. So again, for those of you who don't know, me and Steve are going to be first-time grandparents. His daughter, my stepdaughter, Amy, and her husband, James, are expecting their first baby. So our first grandbaby. And I mean, as much as I would love to see the baby, it's not like I'm going to be spending every day with the baby once the baby's here. But it is just something else that's coming up that's very exciting. Let's see which comes first, the greenhouse or the baby. Probably the baby, because they're not going to let her go over more than 2 weeks. So Cheryl says, I am sure when you have a full house, it is difficult to always exercise, etc. Lots going on. That's true, but the thing is that actually the exercises that I do, like the Jillian Michaels 30-day shred and the yoga, don't take up a lot of space. So I have done them in the entranceway before. I've done them in the dining room before. I've done them in the living room. I've done them at the end of our bed in our bedroom. There's like quite a big area of carpet. So I've done them in our bedroom before. So actually I've done them in the kitchen before as well. So yeah, the space isn't the excuse. And the good thing about the house that we live in, and this is how they do it in the UK, more so than Canada, is that like every room has a door on it. So the kitchen has a door on it. The living room has a door on it. Well, living room, dining room. You know, the office has a door on it. Obviously our bedrooms have doors. So like we can get away from each other. So, and my greenhouse is so big that I could probably do it in there too, except it'll be full of plants. It'll be one place that I'm allowed to fill with plants that Steve won't mind. I told him this can go in the shower because orchids like moisture. He doesn't want plants in the shower. It's bad enough that I put them in the bathtub once a week. The ones in the bathroom upstairs, I put in the bathtub once a week for their weekly shower. And then I leave them overnight for 1 day of humidity and then pop them back into their pots around the bathroom. So there is, like I said, today is the 19th of March, but come next Sunday, which what is that, the 26th, if I do my maths properly, there could be lots of news for me to tell you. We could have a new baby in the family that we know if it's girl or boy, or yes, the greenhouse won't be here yet by next Sunday, but I will still be closer to the date and I'll be very excited. So, you know, our house, we have these big Lalandia cypress trees in the front. And because a lot of like houses have names around here, you know, like, you know, cottage, like something cottage, or this, you know, I don't know, oak house, or like they have all these names. I've always thought like, what would we name like our property right here? And the Lalandia, like it's just not really a catchy name. Like I could use cypress, but then I was thinking about the greenhouse. Well, I was thinking about the baby, and the baby's going to have a name. After they know if it's a boy or a girl, they'll give it a name. So soon we'll know what the baby's name is. And then I was thinking about the name of our cottage, our house here. And then I was thinking, should I name my greenhouse? And then I was thinking, like, you know, if I called this my garden and my greenhouse and everything, like some type of gardens, what would I name it? And Cheryl says, brand new baby is very exciting too. Yes, if I had to choose between the greenhouse and a new baby, I would choose the new baby. But it's not my baby, so I will be just as excited about the greenhouse. So yeah, so names. What do you guys think? Like cypress, I would rather call it cypress than Lalandia. How do you say it? Leyland cypress? Lalandia? I don't know. Anyways, this is my point. I don't want to name it that. So if you think of any good names that me and my garden, or sorry, us and our house and our garden remind you of, oh, the Four Seasons, something like that. Maybe, I don't know. I know that's a hotels and stuff, and we don't really get the Four Seasons here, but I like to decorate for every season. So maybe it's something like that. But if you can think of a name for me to name our home and our property, then give me some suggestions. And maybe like, should I name my greenhouse something like, so patience, or about freaking time, something like that, like how long it took to actually finally, isn't it life like that? Things take a while, like even our kitchen, but once they're there, like I am still, what about our bathroom upstairs, our Victorian bathroom upstairs? That was done before my mom came here. So before our wedding in 2018, so 2017. So we did that bathroom at the end of 2017. And I still love our bathroom upstairs and our clawfoot tub. And then the kitchen, absolutely love it. That's why I'm doing Food Fridays and trying to use the kitchen more. And the greenhouse is just going to be one more thing that I absolutely love. And my car. My car's from 2017, and I still love my car. I just wish Aurora would clean it inside and out, because that's how she wants to make a bit of extra money. So she needs to do it because it's filthy inside, and I want to clean it, but I keep thinking, no, Aurora wants to do it to make money, then she needs to do it. Thirsty. So some good things in the garden, though, is that I put a lot of bulbs into pots and into the ground. I see that these, because tulips, a lot of times here, tulips they aren't as good after their first year. They lose the energy and they don't tend to do as well. You might get a few tulips the next year, but not like they bloomed in the first year when you bought the bulbs. But I added, like, so I had a pot with like some tulips in, and I don't know if there's anything else in there besides tulips, but on top I put what's called Snow in Summer, and it's like the little leaves have like a bluey tinge to them, so that means that they're good for in the sun. You know, when a leaf has like a blue tinge or like white hair on it, that means it's good for, and then it gets these white flowers in the summertime, and that's why it's called Snow in Summer, when it's full of flowers. And I put that on top of this pot, and I had it in a terracotta pot. Well, that pot I put into the barrel with the Tia rose. That's Steve's dog that he had before, named Tia. Her ashes went into a half whiskey barrel, and I redid it last year with the same dirt, but I added some more things into it. So with the Tia rose, I put in a couple things, including the stuff that was in that terracotta pot, which is those tulips and the Snow in Summer. And the tulips are just like, they're looking really good. I saw that there's like flower heads on them, and I can't remember. I have to look back in pictures what color the tulips are. But what I'm saying is that because I put some of the bulbs in the ground here, we get a lot of rain, so you really, really need to make sure any bulbs you have are in very good drainage. So in the ground is better drainage sometimes than in a pot. And that's why I think they seem to be doing really well, because they're in a big half whiskey barrel. So and it has other things with it. So any moisture in there can be sucked up by the plants that really want the moisture, and the bulbs are doing well. So I am excited to see my spring bulbs and what comes of them, because other pots that I had bulbs in, because they might lose their vigor over the years, I've taken a bunch of pots with bulbs in and just made lasagnas of bulbs, but not even knowing, because lots of times the dogs took the tags off or whatever, so I might not know what was left in that terracotta pot with bulbs. So I went by size. So I put bigger bulbs at the bottom, and then, you know, medium, and then smaller ones in the same pot. So I have lasagna pots of bulbs, and I don't know what's in them, and I'm just gonna, I can see some of them like lots of leaves, but I haven't had flowers yet, so I'm excited to see. And because I put more bulbs in there in layers, again, that's less dirt, but a lot of gritty, like rocky dirt. So it's when the moisture goes in, there's more bulbs, there's less dirt to hold the moisture, so hopefully they survive better, because I'm really not as good with bulbs as I am with other plants. So I'm excited to see my spring blossoms and what's happening. A lot of the pots I put on the dining table, it's like I mean, I still call it a dining table because you dine at it, but it's like the outdoor one outside the kitchen window. And it's like the big wooden table with chairs, like where we dine outside. I've made that into my spring display. So all my terracotta pots and pots that have bulbs and stuff in, I put them all on that table, so that every time I'm in the kitchen, especially like at the sink or whatever, I can see them every day to see if anything's changed or anything's coming up. And it's very exciting. So yes, I could talk about gardening and my plants all day, but I know that not everybody who tunes into this, whether live or later, cares about gardening like I do. So we are at 33 minutes, well, 33 and a half minutes. So we're half done the rambling, but it's hard for me to ramble if I don't have topics. I do have this thing to, should I pull something out of here and see what we should talk about? Let's try this. I have had this for weeks and I've never used it yet. So let's take out something and see if it triggers a story in my head, because I do a lot of things by association. So if you give me a word, or if I find a word, then I can think of something that happened or reminds me of it or whatever. So let's see. The reason it's taking me so long is because the papers are sticking together. So I was trying to like break them apart while I was talking. This one says, if not. Okay, that doesn't really work. So let's try another one. It's not a topic, but I just cut them all up and threw them in here. So I don't know if this one will be a topic. I can feel that. I think there's two stuck together. I don't want to see both of them. I just want one. Mountain. So if not mountain, well, mountain, I can tell you that Steve had never seen the Rocky Mountains before summer of 2019. Last time we were in Canada, We went camping in the mountains for over a week with my family, my siblings and my mom. And Owen, my stepson, he came as well, and the girls. And so it was really nice to be with my siblings, my mom and Steve and the kids, all the cousins, most of the cousins together. My niece Haley wasn't there, and then Amy and Tom weren't there either. So it was almost all the cousins together, but it was still a great time camping in the mountains. We were talking about Japan today, and there's mountains in Japan. And where else was I talking about mountains in the last couple days? Nope, can't remember. So that is all I can tell you about mountains right now. I like the mountains. I think they're amazing, and they're huge. When you look at them, you're just like, they are so big. Like, it's amazing that what Mother Nature can do. Laugh. I told another one, it says laugh. I wish I laughed more. I find things funny. Even when I'm watching TV, I'll find something funny and I'll be like, ha, that's good. But I don't laugh out loud as much as I should. And I think about sometimes too when I listen to podcasts and people play off of each other. So if there's two people that are hosting a podcast and they're talking to each other, sometimes they'll get the giggles and they'll make each other laugh. And I do think, I wonder if there is somebody who I would be able to do this with, where we played off of each other in a good way that didn't annoy other people, but would make me laugh more. So I would love to laugh more out loud. Like, I would love, for the health benefits and everything else, I would love to laugh more. You know those friends that you have that just make you laugh, or when you were younger and you would just get the giggles and you couldn't stop laughing? I miss that. Me and Steve can make each other laugh, and that's when we know. I love when we make a joke or do something stupid and the other one laughs and you're just like, yeah, he loves me, or vice versa. So yeah, Steve can make me laugh and I can make him laugh. But Cheryl says I crack myself up daily. That's hilarious. I mean, I am clumsy and I am a silly person. So yeah, I do. But like I said, it's more of the like a snort kind of laugh than a actual like expending energy and increasing endorphins kind of laughing for me. So yeah, so laugh. That was my word. Laugh mountain. If not today, then when am I going to start doing my workouts properly? Hey, so this hoodie also, I don't know why I didn't notice when I bought it that it has a hood, but it doesn't have the kangaroo pouch and down here. So that's kind of weird, but it does have the hood, although I don't need the hood when I'm wearing my cool hat. Cheryl says, laughter is on the top of the list for keeping a relationship fun. I agree. I agree completely. Me and Steve are happy together, and when we make each other laugh, it just, when he laughs at a stupid joke I make or something, then it makes me just feel really good and confident in our relationship. And like even stupid things that like you do to each other in like say I go to the bathroom in the middle of the night or whatever, I come back and my pillow's gone. Just like quiet room as if he's sleeping and my pillow's just gone. So yeah, he'll do that. He'll just steal my pillow and silly things like that. We just laugh about. Yes, I agree that laughter is a good thing for a relationship. And sometimes people, I mean, Cheryl, you have met Steve in real life, so you know too, but like some people might see, because Steve wears different hats, right? When he's a boss at his jobs and he wears that boss hat, he can be, and even when he's parenting, if he needs to be, he can be firm. He can seem intimidating. He's not mean, but he can seem intimidating like that and just be firm and everything else. But and then with feathers and stuff like that, he's very soft and gentle and everything else. But so many people don't realize what a silly immature brat that Steve can be. And it's true. So if you know me and you can tell how silly and yes, my sense of humor and stuff like that, he doesn't show it the same. But if you know him, if you know my sense of humor, then there's a reason that him and I work so well, because he is just as silly and goofy and the pranks and all those things. Like he is a brat sometimes, but I love him. Yes, Cheryl said, Steve the trickster. Yep, he is a trickster. He can be a brat. He's I just think I can't think of any examples at the moment, but I know that we laugh a lot together and that makes me happy. So just always doing silly things like, like when I like sitting on the edge of the bed to get up, and when I try to get up, he grabs the back of my pants. So I'm like that like I can't get up, and just, you know, he's just a brat. He just is like wind up merchant. So but that's what's fun, and that we laugh at each other, that, you know. And then I hurt him a lot because I'm really clumsy, so I might go in to give him a kiss and then headbutt him by accident or just things like that. But even though it hurts him, sometimes he just laughs at how clumsy I am. So instead of like making me feel bad about it, I don't try to be clumsy. I don't try to hurt him on purpose. But it's a good thing we're not in an abusive relationship, because I hurt him enough without trying to, let alone if I was physically abusive. So I wonder if these orchids smell. No, no smell. The Primula don't smell right now either. They might, maybe if they were fresh blooms, they might, but they don't smell right now. So we'll see. This is also an indoor Primula, so I'm not sure. I might have it outside for the, I was going to say the winter. That's not right. I might have it outside for the summer, but it says it's an indoor one. So I've never really differentiated. So, but also indoor, I could have it in the greenhouse. Do what? The greenhouse? The greenhouse. Yes. You were asking about that. 16 sleeps till the greenhouse is here. And then all those plants that are in the living room and all those plants that are hidden around the house trying to still get enough light can go back in the greenhouse where they belong and make my house feel just a little bit more spacious. I love my plants, but there's the right plant for the right place. And my living room is not the right place for all the plants that need to go into the greenhouse, especially ones that need more more light and stuff like that, like the lemons and the kumquats and the lime quats. So hang on, I can't pass up the compliment. Rosa says, you look so cute. Thank you, Rosa. And Cheryl says, the greenhouse, and then like 4 thumbs up. Yes, I'm excited about the greenhouse. So I could talk about it all day. And like, I picture it in my mind when it's going to have electricity and lights in it. And that's the problem, is that, like I said, in the summertime and stuff, it still gets dark here, but like not as late as on the prairies. So in the prairies, it might get like totally dark, like 11 or 12 during the summer. And well, maybe not midnight, but maybe 11, but like, you know, dusky and stuff, right? Here it gets dark earlier, but I allow myself to be out in the garden until it gets dark, and then I have to come in the house, you know, spend time with family and responsibilities and that stuff. But when I have electricity in the greenhouse, I don't ever have to come in. I could just, and it's, if I don't fill it up with too many plants, I could even like put like a lounging chair in there and just sleep in there and live in there. It's like, you know how some people send their husbands to the doghouse? You can just send me to the greenhouse and I'll be happy. You don't even have to send me. I'll just take myself to the greenhouse. So I'll be like knocking on the door, like, can I at least come in for a shower? No, there's the hose outside. Okay, I'll just use that then. And a lock. That's so weird. Like, it's cool that I can lock my greenhouse. Yeah, I'm just super duper duper excited, and I'm counting down like a little child. So I'm very excited for cooking this week as well. Like, I'm really excited to make the El Salvadorian food and anything else that I decide to make this week. So what did I wanted to make meatloaf as well. So that's on my agenda as well. Cheryl says, I hear you, like regarding greenhouse and being excited. So I can pull another word, I guess, because I don't know what else to talk about. I mean, again, I could go on and on about the greenhouse, but I don't think that's as exciting as it is to just me and Cheryl. What is happening? Laughter. This is laughter. Obviously, there's some kind of a theme here that I need to laugh and laughter. But I've heard like even comedians talk about it. Not that I'm a comedian, but I've heard about comedians when we had the pandemic. Do you guys remember the pandemic? That just happened like a few years ago. They were at like trying to do like live, like Zoom, or I don't even know, like different like forms of comedy when it was like this, and it was like boom boom and like the punchline and everything else, but they didn't have the reaction from the crowd because it's just silence. And then you don't know if your jokes are hitting or if people are even quiet. Sorry, there's someone at the front door. I think it's Thomas coming home with Sasha, so that's why Lena's barking. But anyway, so that's what I'm saying. So even if I make jokes on here, or if I am funny, I have no idea if you guys are laughing at home because I don't hear any. Lena, good girl, come here. Lena, good girl, come here. So I don't know if you guys are laughing or not. So laughter. Lena, come here. Lena, obviously no one's going to open that door for you. Hi. Hi. Good girl. So yeah. So I don't know what the thing is with laughter. Maybe I need to go watch a comedy when I'm done all the other things I need to do after my live. I have no idea, but I would love to have more laughter in my life. So let's see. I'll tell you guys next week how much more laughter I got in this week. Now, there's the other thing that we talk about on my lives every week. Let me just check the time because sometimes I ramble and the time goes by so quickly and sometimes it seems to go by slow, but I can talk and talk and talk. So we have about 15 minutes left, but I'll talk about this now so that we can get it in. And then if there's anything else we want to talk about, end of life planning and, you know, all that good stuff. So every week that I'm not on here, I have more stories and things that happen in my life where I hear of people or know people or, you know, come into contact with people who have people who are in the process of their last days or have passed away, are dealing with the funeral arrangements or the estate and all those things. So yep, it is Thomas and Sasha. So he's just going to let Sasha outside. Do you want to make an appearance, Sasha? Hi, Sasha. Yes, so I haven't thought of a question today, but I will think of one. Let me just have to put this and I'll think of a question. Hang on. Lena, leave it alone. Thomas brought a big shark toy, which is obviously Sasha's, but he set it up on the table and Lena's trying to get it. So what? Hey, let's do flowers. So, sure, it's not like the biggest, most important thing for your funeral, but we did songs and music and everything else. Is there any specific flowers or plants or things that remind you, remind you of yourself, or plants or flowers or any kind of symbolic things that you want at your funeral? So let's put that in. So, I mean, sometimes we're talking about the end of life and end of life care before you pass away, but sometimes we're talking about after you pass away. So for this week's question, it'll be, what type of symbology do you want at your celebration of life or funeral or end of life, whatever you're having at the end of your life? Do you want flowers? Do you want no flowers? Do you want plants? Do you want, you know, like Christians and Catholics, they have a, oh, Lena, go the other way. If you have a Catholic ceremony, they have incense in the church. So is there smells that you would love? Can you imagine like lilies or like something that you love the smell of and that they just put that fragrance into the air at your funeral? That would be really cool. So I don't know if we talked about food or not, but it could be the same thing with that can be an extension of this question if we haven't already talked about it. Like if you're having a wake or a celebration after the services, what type of food would you want there? Is there anything specific, like, you know, like have it whatever they plan to have, but specifically have this there as well, because this is what's going to remind you of me. What is your favorite food? Do your loved ones, they probably know what it is, but is it something that's simple? So, you know, maybe you don't want a certain type of plant there, even though you're not allergic anymore in death. You were allergic to them your whole life. So, or maybe because you were allergic to them your whole life, you would love for your funeral to be full of them. I'm not sure. So no, Lena, that is not yours. So that is your question for this. Lena, that's not yours. That is your question that you need to do this week. I also found my paper, so I'm going to have them all written in here for next week and actually in this book so that my loved ones know exactly where all the questions that we've had already are, and the answers for my questions will be in here. And it's with my stuff for my rambling hour that I keep together now. So if you want to know what the questions are that we've asked previously, you can look up on Instagram the hashtag Peppertooth End of Life Planning, or if you go on my Facebook in photo albums, there's an album that has, excuse me, the previous questions. Once I put them on Instagram, they go onto my Facebook and they go under like, what, I can't remember what that album is called, but it has like thousands of pictures in it. But then I go in there and I take them from there and I put them into the End of Life Planning album. So if it only goes up to like question 9 right now, or if they're not all in there, that's because I haven't moved them yet. But Cheryl says, would depend what time of year it would be flower-wise. That is obviously true too if you were to pass away at a certain time of year and those things weren't in bloom, unless you were okay with it being silk flowers, like fake flowers and stuff. But maybe it's not even just the flower type. Maybe it's the color. Maybe you would like to have all white flowers at your funeral, or maybe all purple. I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't even thought about what mine are. Irises and lilies are my favorite flowers. So, you know, if those are in season, then they would be fine at my funeral. But I don't know if I'm really that bothered. But I do like those things that they do at some funerals where they give out seeds, or they'll give out like a little piece of paper, like say a paper shaped like a butterfly, and there's seeds inside of it. At my ex-mother-in-law's funeral, they gave out little sachets with a little thing of seeds in, and it was forget-me-nots. And that was my first ever forget-me-nots that I grew, and they grew like really, really well as well. That was back in Canada. Lena, that's not yours. So yeah, forget-me-nots. I thought that was like, so it's nice when they hand out seeds. So maybe that's something that you'd want at the funeral. Cheryl says good point, but I don't know what point that was that I said. Maybe it was about, say, like the color of the flowers instead of the type of flower. But yeah, that actually, so that's a good thing as well. Like if there's, and we can do that as another question another week, if there's anything that you want handed out at your funeral, like the little keepsakes. Come on. You're not supposed to be on there, and you just knocked all my letters out. I guess it's my own. There you go. Laughter for the day. Cheryl says the color, and I have lost all my words down the middle of the couch. Where did the big part go? This is my own fault for inviting her up. You can see all the little pieces of paper like confetti everywhere, and I heard the thing fall, but I can't see it, the bigger part, so I can put them back in it. Not just, oh, there it is. I heard it again. Sasha and Lena playing. I found it. So my first time using the words, and now they're everywhere. But at least it made it entertaining and made some laughter. Oh my goodness, they're everywhere. We're gonna be finding these words in the couch for years to come, although eventually we are getting a new couch. So the people who get this couch from us will be finding these random words in here and not know why. I'll clean these up after. So Cheryl says doggy love. Yes, it is doggy love. You know it was worth it. You know it was worth it, even if she did make a mess, because we love her. All right, let's see how much time we have 7 minutes for me to ramble and then tidy this up, because I didn't have enough other things to do after my rambling hour. So I know my father-in-law, he has a shelf in his shower, like walk-in shower, and I think the shelf is actually for like shampoos and stuff. But one time when I was there, he had like orchids up on this tall shelf in his shower, and then I said to Steve that was there, but then the next time we went, he didn't have them in the bathroom, so he might have just been letting them get some humidity. But I thought, what a good idea, especially if you're short like me, if you have like a tall like shower area and you put a shelf up there for orchids or plants that like the humidity, because that's like kind of wasted space anyways, and then especially right above the shower, it's getting all the humidity. So the other thing is that orchids and bromeliads, and what else? Air plants. There's some of these are very specific where you don't want to use just tap water. You want to use distilled water or rainwater, or if it is tap water, let it sit for at least a day or more before you use it. But you're going to see your best results with distilled water or rainwater. And I was thinking of bringing in, it's not too bad during the warmer months, but in the colder months, I was thinking we have a big container in the house that I use for the dog water, because I put dog rocks in it, so that it neutralizes the water, so that it helps with like female dog urine for burning the lawn. But I was thinking of getting another big barrel-y thing like that and keeping it with rainwater. Maybe not too big, because you don't want to start smelling, but enough that I can water my houseplants but the water will be room temperature instead of the temperature outside. But yeah, I was thinking of starting to try to water all my plants in the house with rainwater and see if they'll do better, because I'm good at with the outside plants. I'm not as good at the house plants, but I am trying, and that's all I can do is try and learn to do better with the house plants. So yes, I have a big mess to clean up. I have lots of exciting things coming up, and I know that before next Sunday we might have a new baby in the family. So I will tell you guys if it's a boy or a girl, and what its name is, if it is here before next Sunday. So exciting. But at the same time, I will only do what my stepdaughter Amy and James say that we can do. So if they say we're allowed to share the information in the post or whatever, then I'll do that. And if they say to wait, then I will. And if they say we can share a picture, then I will. And if not, that's okay too, because I have had friends and family who don't want their kids' images on the internet, and I've totally respected that as well. So, but I will tell you the baby's here when the baby's here. But if I'm not allowed to tell you any more than that, then that'll be it. But just know that we're happy and excited to welcome the baby. So I am gonna say goodbye for this week and clean up all these messes that have been made. If it's not me, it's someone else, isn't it? So again, Blue October, very excited. It's not everybody's cup of tea. Steve will not go with me. He's not into their music, but I love them. And the best part is that they're from the States, so they're bigger than here. But because they're not as popular here, or they don't have as big of a crowd, since the venue is smaller, then you enjoy the concert more because there's less people, and the tickets aren't as expensive as going to someone where it's like £200 or £300 for a ticket, and I will not spend that much for anybody, even no matter how much I love them. So I'm very excited in a month, just over a month, to go see Blue October. And yeah, so you guys have a great week. I love you guys. And oh, one more thing. I showed it at the beginning, but I'll show it one more time. These beautiful flowers that I got for Mother's Day that Aurora made, and they are edible. So is the dirt, just not the pot, but it is gorgeous. She is so good at what she does, and I'm very proud of her. So happy Mother's Day in the UK. Love you guys. Have a good week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.